That's
of
like
comics.
one less to 100.
That's a long time, and we didn't even start counting when we first started. I think that might be a made-up number. We're doing Marvel math here. 99 is good enough for us. But yeah, with the 99th episode and the first week of October, we have lots of comics because they know that it is raining and we'll be inside and you need stuff to read.
Yeah. After taking a bit of a not really month off, DC is back to publishing monthly non-one-shot titles.
Non-shiny covers.
Yeah, starting with a new Lobo #1.
Lobo!
Written by apparently the main villain ongoing writer between Marvel and DC, CULLEN, and drawn by Riley Brown, a former Cable and Deadpool artist. Had some recent work in Dark Horse Presents here and there. With lots of, you know, beheadings. Like, actually, the cover doesn't lie in this case.
No.
The first time since the 60s that's happened, I think. This follows the new Lobo as he, well, I'd say it follows his quest to regain his title, but that kind of goes down the first few pages, so it all picks off from there, actually.
Yeah. From the other side of the fence, we have a triple shot of new collections from Marvel.
Ooh.
First off, one of the absolute best comics that they publish, all new Ghost Rider, Tradd Moore, Felipe Smith. We've talked about this a lot, you just need to buy it.
Catch up on Robbie Reyes.
Moon Knight, Warren Ellis, Declan Shavely, Jordi Belair. This is probably one of the best things from Marvel Warren Ellis has done in many years. Each issue's standalone, kind of number 6, they all tie together a little bit. But this is a view into the shattered psyche of Mark Spector as you have never seen before.
And there's also a new issue of Brian Wood's current run of Moon Knight out today as well.
That's right. And Magneto by Cullen Bunn as well. And Gabriel Hernandez Walta. This has been really pretty popular. Kind of not like reimagining Magneto, but really kind of like bringing a solid foundation to who he was and why he does what he does now. Magneto's a really interesting character.
Yeah, it really is.
And it's got badass Declan Shavely covers, which are always good.
Yeah, and don't miss out on Magneto's appearance in the new issue of Uncanny Avengers today as well, because that leads right into Axis in a big way. And not to be outshone by 2 other Cullen Bunn comics. Here we have the first issue of Brides of Helheim. This is the second Helheim miniseries, follow-up to his and Joelle Jones' The Witch War, which came out earlier this year, I believe? Or was that in 2013?
Last year.
Yeah, awesome undead Viking action. There's like a solid 10 pages of bear fighting in this book.
Name one other comic here that has bear fighting.
Exactly. Actually, for once, there aren't any others.
Yeah, that's the bear fighting. But yes, we're going to throw it to our resident bear wrestling specialist, actually. You probably didn't know this about Will.
I didn't know that about Will.
Yeah. See, can you hear that? I mean, he can suplex, a mean German suplex on that bear. You know, he's a big guy. He gets his arms around there. He's got good leverage. But yeah, Will's going to talk to you about comics and bear fighting.
Hey everybody, a huge week for patriotic all-American fun. Bucky Barnes, the Winter Soldier, and a brand new series by Elish Kott, and some just crazy Steranko kind of sort of psychedelic Marco Rudy art. If you read Original Sin, you know that Bucky Barnes has a whole new mission. He's not just the man who's playing the bad guy in the Marvel Underworld. He is going across the Marvel Universe, protecting us from all kinds of evil alien bad guys. Awesome new mission from Bucky Barnes. Crazy art. He's kind of the new Nick Fury, if you learned about Nick Fury's crazy mysterious past in Original Sin. So, of course, if you read Original Sin, you know where I'm coming from. But if not, just jump in, enjoy the ride. That is Bucky Barnes, Winter Soldier 1. And Captain America 25, a big week in Avengers history this week. You know, Sam Wilson, we already know who the new Captain America is. It's going to be Sam Wilson, the Falcon. But how does it happen? It's not going to be you, Sam. Not you, Sam Video Monkey. Sam Wilson. He made history. He was the first African-American Marvel superhero. And now he's going to chart a new course for the Captain America legacy. We all know it's going to be him, but how does it happen? That story plays out here, and we also get a preview of what the next chapter is going to be when Sam takes over as the new avenging All-American Avenger and who he takes on. Death of Wolverine 3. You know, people can say what they want. when something is well written and beautifully drawn, I don't care if it feels like a stunt. It's really the mystery. You know, we know Wolverine. He's lost his healing factor. He's dying. Someone's put a bounty on him. There's been all these great guest stars, and it takes you into chapters of Logan's life. Well, this one, it takes you back. Kitty Pryde guest stars. He goes back to Japan. He faces an old mentor, and then it sets the stage. There's lots of you know what moments. These guys just heard me say this as I was reading this aloud. Like I said, beautifully done as Wolverine goes back to Japan to face an old enemy, and it leads to the next chapter, which is when supposedly Wolverine is going to meet his maker in the final adventure. But for new beginnings, Thor #1. Once again, if you saw, as I was mentioning earlier in Original Sin, something happened to the Odin son, and now he's unworthy. He can't pick up the hammer. It's no longer hammer time for the Odin son. We don't really know what happens with that. That story's going to play out. But as we've seen, all hell's breaking loose in Asgard, and there's frost giants coming to Earth, and then it's not what you thought. I was a little surprised by this Thor #1 by Jason Aaron. He's going to continue legacy with the new Goddess of Thunder picking up the hammer, and Russell Dodderman, who came out of nowhere. He started out as artist on Cyclops, and now he's moving over to Thor. Beautifully drawn. A new chapter for Thor this week. Guardians 3000 #1. Now I'm going to age myself here, but I don't care. As much as I love Michael Rooker, Yondu was not an evil bounty hunter. He was a cool archer. He was actually part of the original Guardians of the Galaxy. Yes, love the movie, but if you want some old school fun, these were the original Guardians. A group of alien heroes from the 30th century who came back in time to fight these alien badoons. They're all here. Vance Astro, Martin X, Charlie 27, kicking butt in outer space, and great for old school fans of the original Guardians. And then finally over to Image. I love this book, Alex and Ada, by Jonathan Luna and Sarah Vaughn. A whole new weird chapter. You know, boy meets robot android girl. Boy gives girl sentience, and then there's heartbreak. So it's a really cool take on sci-fi, romance, what is human, what is not human, and Ada is on her own. She's out there on her own, and she's in danger. So if you haven't picked it up, we've got more issues here in the first volume. Come check out Alex and Ada. That is all for me, guys. Back to you. I think there's lots more #1s, but you guys are #1 with me.
Hope you all were writing that down, because those are some really good bear tips. I mean, you never know if you get caught in the woods or something happens. I mean, you need to know how to outsmart a bear, or, at least survive. But yes, in non-bear survival news, we have Gotham Academy #1 by Becky Cloonan, Brendan Fletcher, and Carl Kerschel. This is the beginning of kind of this new wave of Batman books that's really trying to do something a bit different than the rest of the New 52. First off, it looks fun. That's #1. 2, female main characters that don't seem totally over the top. And 3, well, is Becky Cloonan writing a comic that's like Batman? That's awesome.
Yeah, it's fun team stuff.
Yeah, and so the idea is that the kids of Gotham Academy don't really give a crap about Batman, but you live in the shadow of the Bat, and thus you have to deal with it.
It's kind of just a normal thing growing up in Gotham,
Yeah, right? I mean, just kind of deal with crazy people who dress up like rodents. But this is going to be really awesome. Definite seal of approval from this side of the table here.
Mm-hmm.
And a chime in on that one.
I dig it.
You will not be disappointed.
Speaking of something else totally not disappointing, we finally have the first trade paperback collection of Southern Bastards by Jason's Aaron LaTour. This comes with the first 4 issues and a bonus recipe. And come on. This tale of revenge and retaliation and, good old-fashioned Southern beatings.
With a hickory stick?
Oh my god, a piece of a big gnarled tree.
Right?
All that for $9.99. We got like a ton of them.
Yeah.
Need a whole separate truck just to carry those in.
Absolutely. And then we have kind of a double shot from Green Lantern this week. The New Gods are back in a big force here.
This is Godhead. Part 1? What is it? Act 1, Part 1?
Act 1, Part 1, Act 1, Part 2. This is going to be very long and, it's commitment.
As fans of the Green Lantern franchise are used to at this point.
Absolutely. But you first saw Orion in the pages of Wonder Woman a little less than a year ago, and now we see Darkseid again after his defeat at the hand of Aquaman's
Pointy stick.
Which was kind of weak. But he's back. Highfather's back. Orion is back.
All of the new gods
All
are
of the
back.
new gods.
And because DC just loves us and loves to do crazy printing things, there is this beautiful Ethan Van Sciver fold-out source wall splash. Now, if that isn't awesome, I really don't know what is.
It's worth the $4.99. And then part 2, regular Green Lantern book.
Robert Venditti, Billy Tan.
Yes, as per usual. And then finishing off this week, if we can...
Oh my god, even unearth it. Jeez.
Marvel at the size of this unwieldy, huge comic magazine book thing.
Experience.
It is an
It's
experience.
comic experience.
This is the first print comic to reach the shores here by Mr. James Harvey, UK-based artist who is the best artist that you've never heard of. Not because you're not cool or nothing, but just because, you know, he just makes internet comics, and who's got time to sit there and just filter through the internet and find everything that's awesome?
I mean, unless you're one of those cool guys who, like, gets all their news from Vice or whatever
Something
and happens
like
to see his
that.
cartoons there.
Yeah, but he's got this really great, like, manga, Otomo, Jamie Hewlett type of thing. And this is a story about the dangers of plastic surgery and the dangers of not being just okay with who you are. There's this great design stuff on the back. There's awesome fashion here. It's got a really badass quote by Ron Wimberly, which is all the reason that you need to buy a comic book. I mean,
Yeah,
you know,
really.
Deepai says to buy it, you better buy it. And this is only $5.99.
Yeah, for the Masterplasty story, plus tons and tons
extras.
of bonus
and it
pinups
smells
and sketches.
so good. Oh, it's so good. Yeah. So we're going to let that sink in a little bit. If you want something color-coded to wear while you're reading that, we got in some nice Bruce Timmey, Harley Quinn women's t-shirts, which is very fashionable. And then the cover of the week this week.
Yeah, gonna close it out with Gotham Academy co-writer Becky Cloonan's variant cover for Detective Comics. This is part of the Month of Monsters DC variant line, and, you know, the same vein as their Selfie and... I don't know what those other ones
Batman.
are. Batman,
Some
yeah,
other
just
stuff.
Batman. Mad Scientist Batman. Possibly Man-Bat? Batman Man-Bat?
Maybe.
Whatever it is, it's spooky. Awesome.
Spooky. And in 2 weeks, right? Yeah, 2 weeks, we'll be having our first ever Ladies' Night, where I won't be here.
I won't be
Morgan
here
be
either.
here. But we have information. We have special guests Willow Wilson, who writes Ms. Marvel, and local creators Gina Siciliano, Kelly Froh, and Aaron Franklin. Aaron and Kelly organize the Short Run Festival, which is happening in November, which is Seattle's premier small press festival. But it's great to be all women here, and it'll be focusing, just celebrating women in comic books. There'll be recommendations and food and you know, comic
Prizes
book talkie,
even.
Prizes, prize wheel, and Perry's gonna be the bouncer. So make sure you have your invitation, because he'll bounce you. He just boom, and you just be right out there. But yes, so there's all sorts of information about that. We'll be plugging that a lot as the weeks go on. So thank you all for watching, and we'll see you later.